Well, we do have new information, however, on another horrific crime. Well, that's the depraved video from the shooting of Dakota Early in Chicago in May. Well, tonight, his mother, Joy Dobbs, told The Angle he is doing amazing. He was moved to rehab last week. His appetite's improved. His jaw is still wired shut, but he can have smoothies and liquid foods. Still in really good spirits and ready to come home. Remember, he was shot 3 times close range for a cell phone password. And as for the shooter in that case, his name is Tyshawn Brownlee. He's charged with 5 other robberies in Lakeview and Lincoln Park areas in the lead up to that shooting. In fact, Brownlee was on a crime spree at the time, and police believe that he was involved in a robbery crew that's responsible for 20 to 30 robberies in the weeks leading up to the Dakota Early shooting. We're going to bring you updates to these 2 stories as we get them in the weeks ahead. And speaking of heinous gun crimes, this was the scene outside of L.A. when 2 officers responded to a call about a possible stabbing at an El Monte hotel. The officers, identified as Corporal Michael Paredes and Officer Joseph Santana, later died in what the El Monte mayor described as an ambush. Now, the suspect is Justin Flores, a gang member with numerous felonies on his record, including a weapons charge that should have kept him in prison for years. Instead, thanks to a deal with LA's DA, George Gascon's office, the 35-year-old thug received no jail time and was placed on probation. So as the bodies keep piling up needlessly in districts run by Soros-picked DAs, is it not worth asking, what would save more lives today, gun control or recalling every DA that George Soros funded? Joining me now is Project 21 co-founder Horace Cooper. Horace, seeing that video of Dakota Early shooting in Chicago in May, close range, just walking down the street, and 2 police officers responding, both dead. Your reaction tonight?
We're seeing an epidemic of crime. Let's take Chicago. It has been a problem for a very, very long time. But guess what? When Jussie Smollett makes fake claims about being attacked, probably 1/10 of the police department is assigned to track down those amazing ghost MAGA guys that allegedly had attacked him. Why can't that kind of attention be given to the real citizens that are minding their own business, that should be free to come and go? We have misplaced priorities by too many in the leadership in these law enforcement areas. I'm not talking about the rank and file. I'm talking about mayors. I'm talking about police chiefs. And I'm also talking about these woke DAs.
Well, Gascon in L.A., if there's anyone who deserved to be recalled, kicked to the curb, it's he, given this track record. I mean, we have 2 police officers dead because of a criminal was basically just set free. A gangbanger totally set free.
The very people who put their lives on the line to protect us are losing theirs, and meanwhile, the rest of us are losing our lives too. This is a lose-lose with these woke prosecutors. He can't be recalled fast enough. I'm hoping here the second time is the charm.
Well, Soros has spent about $40 million by one estimate on so-called social justice reform causes, including these DA races. Our friend Joe Scarborough over at MSNBC, though, has some talking points about criticism of Soros.
What's the best way to push back on this conspiracy theory that's based on a Jewish international banker? I mean, it is so anti-Semitic. And of course, they've slotted George Soros in there, trying to make the country like browner and blacker. What's the best way for people to push back on that lie?
Horace, I don't think Scarborough lives in a community that's probably plagued by the type of crime that we're seeing in certain areas of Chicago and in L.A. and obviously in San Francisco before they recalled Chesa Boudin. But this is now a anti-Semitic and racial issue?
So This is a serious topic, but it's ludicrous. It is absolutely ludicrous to say that this guy who has a crazy idea, Soros, has a crazy idea that America wastes all of its resources punishing people who happen to be of a certain race. It's a fact that men overwhelmingly commit these types of crimes. Is that fair to conclude as a consequence that the system is against men? I will just tell you this. Don't rob people. Don't rape people. Don't break into people's houses. And guess what? Law enforcement in America won't be after you.
Horace, great to see you tonight.